And then, welcome to, I think it's probably going to be something along the lines of some fucking Counter-Strike pun like, I know, Strat book or sit talks with IGLs or the post plant, one of those generic ass titles. But it will be the first episode. And for my first guest, I have none other than Conor Conzor Martin, who is the current IGL for QUB Back Six. Conor, how's it going?
I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to this.
Don't sound so timid, bro.
I am no, I'm scared.
I reached out to Conor just for an idea of this. It's one of those things where I somehow make like an opportunity for my own content. So on Icebreakers, which is probably unfortunately the most popular thing I do at the moment. Unfortunately, because then it feeds Buchel's ego. He'll fucking love that one. Yeah. It basically means that, I, on Icebreakers, I sort of, not talk shit per se, but maybe it's my own fault for not putting the effort in, but I keep getting told that Back Six are quite a tactical team. So I thought, instead of me watching VODs and demos, I'd just go to the IGL and ask the IGL to break it down for me, because obviously he knows better than I do. And we're going to release this after the final, which is happening this Wednesday against TD, so we won't give away any strats. I'm quite thankful, Conor, that you actually accepted, because I wouldn't have been surprised if you had told me to go fuck myself, to be honest.
No, I would definitely like to talk about our team, because there is everyone's just saying, "Oh, Back Six only do util, only do execute." And it's like
fancy flashes, which I know you love.
That meme,
So, we might as well just sort of jump straight into it. It's not going to be too long of a thing. It's going to be more like more consumable, because a lot of my shit is rambling and tangents and just utter bollocks. So we'll sort of kick things off. I should have actually got your whole roster up, but you know him. I hope to fuck at this point. So we'll just sort of run through. So I alluded to there, you're the IGL, but it's not your only role within the team, is it?
No, I am also the upper. So you have me. I'm the IGL. Like, I'm not a strict IGL at all. I picked it up this season because we needed someone to call. So I would do a lot of the calling and officials, but so would I think the second guy would be Pinhead Larry. He does. If I don't call, he's calling. Is how it goes. And mid-round calls is up to anyone.
Yeah.
So that would be me. I would also be the opper. Quite a selfish opper, always like, you got money, can I have this? Or do you trust me here for a hero op? Thanks for all your money. But the rest of our team, like we have Painted Larry, who I mentioned.
Yeah.
If I had to give him a role, he's an entry fragger. Him and Trail would be our two dedicated entry fraggers, if I had to say that.
Yeah.
Because I know their playstyles, and I know that if I'm calling, I want them on our T side, in their face, taking duels, taking fights, pop flash, go out. On CT, exact same. Like, I think the best example is Vertigo. Like, if we're taking ramp, I want Pinhead Larry out there fighting. If we were taking ramp on CT, I want Trill there fighting. I don't want them sitting behind throwing util. That would be their roles. If I had to give a lurk role, it would be Aspect.
Yeah.
He would be our lurker on a lot of our T sides, but he is also our anchor on CT. Like, he anchors Train, he anchors Vertigo, he would be left alone on Inferno if we go 4A. Like, he has a lot of responsibility there. That's a shit position. I do not like that. But he's really good at it, and he would be our lurker. But as I said, like, anyone can lurk at this level, anyone can entry. And our last player is Nico. I actually thought about this question a little bit. I was like, if I want to give him a creative name, because I would say he's a playmaker.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
he can lurk, he can entry, he can also be quite supportive in terms of, like, he'll be like throwing the flash, throwing the util, so that Trail and Pinhead Larry can do their thing, or I can do my thing. But I would say he's the playmaker. If we're in like a 3v4, he's the one who's like going to make the information play to get us the info so we can make the right play, or he's the one who's going to get like 2 kills and die, and so like the round's actually winnable. That's how I would describe Nico for our roles.
Yeah, that's quite interesting though, that you said that Pinhead Larry, for example, is like your secondary caller almost. Does he sort of make calls based off what he hears, and then he's usually the first in off the back of his own calls and sort of rallying people behind him before he goes in.
He does like that, yeah. Like I think that's something that we both do. It's hard to say. Like in officials, I would usually be very energetic, and like especially if I've like watched a demo or two, and I can be like, oh, I think I know some of their tendencies. I can really make a call and be like, okay, I can call this round and then the next round and then the round after really confidently. Whereas like say that fourth round after, I might be like quiet and Pinhead Larry will step up and be like, okay, I want us to play this one slow, I want us to play this one fast. He's like, oh, I've got the spawn, I want to do this. And like
Yeah.
the round will be based around him, like you said. Um, and I think that's exactly what I want, to be honest, in the team. Like as I said, I want him and Trill where they want to be to fight.
Yeah. Um, so we'll sort of go from there. So in terms of practice, I think you sort of, ran me roughly through it off stream, but what would a normal, if people are available, what is your normal like sort of week of practice, and how do you sort of allocate rough percentages, let's say, of your time to, demo watch and dry run and scrims?
Um, so demo watching is not. We would never demo watch as practice. Like if we're watching demos, I would say like 90% of it's me and like 10% of it's aspect.
Yeah.
And we do that in our own time. It's like I wouldn't even anti-strat that much. I would more just note tendencies in like a Google Doc. Be like, oh hey, this guy likes to do this and this guy likes to do that. Um,
Do you feel like your team members in individually, like for example, if you know Aspect is say playing pit or he's anchoring B side on train, which is where I assume he anchors, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So say he's anchoring B side on train, do you know like the tendencies of the T side to, like say for example, if they flash ramp, chances are they're taking B control, and if they take B control and Molly Heaven, they're gonna go out B. They're setting up or whatever. Do you let the individuals know the tendencies for their side of the map, or do you sort of just say, lads, look through this, take out what might work for you or whatever?
Um, yeah, I do always say look through this and just read it. But I don't know if they do. I think they usually do. Um, uh, But in terms of that, like Ice isn't consistent enough.
Yeah,
Like in terms of their playstyle, everyone's just pugging it out, and like they can do things entirely based off like just a whim. Like, oh, we're here, let's do this. So, like, there's no predicting it particularly.
yeah,
There's a couple of things like there was one team I think we played who always threw. I don't know if you know like the connector smoke for like the B side on
yeah,
train from like T spawn,
yeah,
but like they missed it every time. And I knew that when they missed it, that it was going to be um, it's going to be A actually, because they always threw that smoke and a fake smoke on B, and then they went out pop. So I was always able to make that call. But like the most I would never be able to call strats like that. The only thing I would be able to do, and I do this, would be like, oh hey, it's this player left. He has a tendency to do this, but even then, it's not even proper info because you can never turn around and be like, oh yeah, okay, then he's here because you don't know. You still have to check everything and like play it safe. Um, so I don't rely on that too much, to be honest.
yeah. Well, one thing I've at least noticed sort of with ice teams is like you can near enough pick up on what they're not doing to be like a thing. So for example, there's one team, uh obviously I'll not name them, but well, they're out now. Funnily enough, because there's only you and TUD. But
Yeah.
I basically watched through one of their demos, and I told them, lads, you only take Pop Dog when you're going on train. Like if you're not in Pop Dog, or if you're in Pop Dog, I can guess you're going to go A. So if you do any noise towards Pop, teams can just fucking stack 5 out A, and it'll probably work most of the time. I think that's like the max that you can really do for ice. It's just
Yeah.
or pistol rounds. Some teams like I know Cubers once got anti-stratted because they like to go out Ivy, like 4 out Ivy on pistol, and
Yes.
a
Yeah, I
team
remember watching
played
that.
three there, like played different angles and shit, and
I
just
think that was
rinsed them.
Ulster.
Yes.
I think I watched that demo.
Yeah. Also
Um,
did I.
yeah, that
But
was a good round from Ulster.
yeah, I think that's the max you can really do at this level. But so outside of you and Aspect, well, mainly you doing the demo watching, what do you sort of do as a team in the time that you prac?
Like our prac always starts at 8. We just have that set. Like if we're pracking, it's going to be at 8 o'clock. Just if you're free that night. But when we start the practice, it's literally like it's usually me who says, "Okay, we're gonna go offline or we're gonna play games." Um, and if we're gonna go offline, it's like there's always a reason for it. Sometimes I'll just stream my screen for like 10 minutes and be like, "Yeah, I want to talk over this." Like I'm gonna be doing that tonight.
Yeah.
um, uh, that's only for like little things like, "Oh, I've got this flash or this like, you know, say you're here." Um, like say aspects on B side where to go. This is what this is literally what I'm saying tonight. Um, I'm gonna say to him like, I'm gonna tell you if I'm flashing shallow. So if I'm flashing shallow, I'm flashing like overall on the site, or if I'm flashing deep, which means I'm flashing over the stair. So he
Yeah.
can call one of those two things based on where they are.
Okay, I get
Uh,
you.
so like that's a little thing. But sometimes we go offline. It's like you're gonna see it in this Mirage video. Like we come in and it's like this is the strat. I will show you the nades, and we need to dry run this like 10 times because we don't know, like we don't know the nades. We don't know. We just need to dry run it, get in our heads, and then get into a game in like half an hour and test it out basically.
Yeah.
Um,
And then the rest of the time you sort of spend towards scrimming, maybe.
we haven't actually scrimmed much. We've scrimmed UCC, I think, and we scrimmed Cubers, but that's about it. We usually just play Face It and just grind, and then we get cold sweats for like trying strats in Face It.
Do you, whenever you are doing these sort of like, you know, queues or whatever, do you play to win or do you play just to like run a strat 5 times and see if it works, like see if you can work out the kinks or whatever?
It's to test the strats for me. Like if we got Mirage, we're gonna pick T side, or we're gonna pick the side based on what needs more practice. For example,
Yeah.
Dust 2, we're always gonna pick the CT because CT needs more practice. Um, and then it's like, well, I want us to test out our long control on Dust. And if they're fighting long and they're winning it, it's like, in an official, I might turn around and say, well, let's stop going long, let's abuse mid to B, get them off this. But it's like, in a face it, I'm like, what's going wrong? How do we actually improve our long take here so that, you know, in an official, we actually win
Yeah, yeah.
long control, get like 3 kills to win the round off that. So it's not about us winning
Yeah,
as
yeah.
much,
No,
but we still
that
want to win.
yeah, that's good, and it helps a lot more with practice. So we've sort of covered your practice schedule, that sort of stuff. Well, actually, I had a thought. We'll watch through the clip mainly on like we'll put a little bit of audio in so people can. Or would you prefer that I don't put audio in so people don't
No,
get
no,
your
it's
calling?
fine.
Okay,
Audio's fine. Like,
so I'll put it through with audio. Does this have? Oh, hold on. I'll have to unmute desktop audio. There we go. Almost a complete and utter disaster. Um, but so I'll play sort of the audio so people can get an idea because it kicks off pretty much out of spawn. So what people are gonna see is a mid to B split, called out of spawn. The timings are pretty much spot on. There's a multi kill. I think the CT side get on short, but then whenever you guys get out apps, you basically just sort of take over the site in general. Is this
yeah.
something? So I think you said earlier this is something that you would have pre-planned and
hmm
dry run.
Yeah, this is probably our most in-depth strat.
Okay.
We're not really people will say like, "Oh, strat gods." Like the strats need to be simple. Uh, we don't
Yeah.
really like super complex ones. This is the most complex one, and the reason for it is because we don't play Mirage. Um, like we don't. We've played like 10 games of it maybe. And my theory basically is like you're playing T-side Mirage. Like if you get pistol and then they eco and then it's like 3-0 and then you run this, or they don't have full util and you can get they're on an eco after that, you're suddenly sitting on 4-0. One more gun round and you're looking at a good half already.
Yeah,
Um,
no, exactly. It's the
that's
idea
the
of
purpose.
using
That is
gimmick
the
runs.
purpose of this strat. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just sort of play it. We can sort of watch. I don't know. I don't think it will give you audio, like, so it just is what it is.
That's right.
Okay. So I'll just sort of play it.
Yeah.
It's not too long, thankfully.
Do you want to do the Fury mid to B right now?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I say pause. Everyone do your usual shit. Just do your usual shit.
What?
Say like pause at a certain point.
Oh yeah. If you wanna jump in at any point, I don't mind pausing it. I'll actually just turn the volume down because I suppose it's not as important as being able to hear you say pause. But yeah,
If you were gonna play the clip, my bad. Sorry.
no.
Like,
Like honestly, breaking it up and well, okay. We'll play it through first, and then we can sort of, if there's an individual point you want to draw more attention to, we can go back because it will at least give people an idea of like the strat in whole. Or yeah.
I'll do top mid, yeah. Take bomb, one of the B players.
Me.
Stuck, sorry.
This must be like ultimate
Never flash
vanity,
this.
by the
Nico,
way.
you need to walk
Yeah,
here.
flash early.
Nico,
Watch
Nico,
it.
check under, check under.
Flash
Yeah.
Watch me in. Watch me in.
Okay, I'll do it. Molly and Con 9.
Hit it in the face. I'm flashing.
Tell me when to flash, Chris.
They smoked apps.
Flashing short. It's out. Not flashes.
Yeah, flash short.
It's gone. Go,
Blend
go.
them with you.
He's on the balcony. Nice,
Dead,
got
dead,
him.
Good kill.
That's 2 dead, maybe. That's 2 dead B. 2 dead B.
Mauling back corner.
And then, so
I
yeah,
miss it.
so that's
Oh,
pretty
my
much the strat. And then I think you play the
Flanking
post plant out from here.
Yeah, I think that molly I had in my hands. I think I throw that molly, and then he has no.
Yeah.
smoke.
So he's end up winning it, but it touches up in a 3-on-3 in the B site, which is arguably one of the harder sites to retake.
Yeah, that's a good position for us.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So did you call it primarily based off what you said earlier? You know, they have low util. You can read that, and it's just a way to get you like guarantee at least 2 more rounds on the T side.
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's a load of reasons for this. The low util. I don't remember. Did Crypt have a FAMAS? I can't remember.
I think you get to
it doesn't-
kill actually during it, but anyway, yeah. Well,
yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, that was the aim, right? They're not on a perfect buy. I'd also like it's only 4-1.5. So we do this, and suddenly they're scared of mid to B.
yeah,
You know, we can start abusing it. We can throw this again in like 4 rounds, and then just don't go B. We just go A instead. You know, we can just jump down and go connector. Whereas they're gonna see the smokes and go, oh hey, it's mid to B again. Go B, quick run. But the actual strat itself is like, can't see it here. Like, we smoke window, we smoke top mid, we smoke down short. We call it the Furious smoke. Like, it basically smokes the guy off connector, and Fix actually makes the right play. Fix gets the first kill on the short player, like you said.
Yeah.
Which is probably the weakest point of this. Like, if that guy pushes mid or goes through that con flash, like, it's not gonna hit him. So we flash con twice. And if it doesn't hit him, he is gonna get a kill probably
yeah,
while they're running down mid. And by the way, it's Trill and Pin and Larry who are running down short because I want them to fight. And then you see that flash out through
Yeah.
from apps. That was like, it lands like over the roof, so it's gonna hit the guy short. Again, like, I know Crypt always plays Forest, which is like that pillar.
Yeah.
On short. So that was for him. That flash, it hits him. It won't hit Pin and Larry. And like, it goes perfect. Like, Pin and Larry swings, gets the kill. Row refrags on Pin and Larry. We refrag on Row. It's a 3v3, and we're in a way better position than them.
yeah. It's pretty much round over from there. But yeah, like, is this sort of strat? Well, obviously you said it's most complicated, but do you have like a number of these for a couple different maps, or is it just like your weaker maps are ones that you have the slightly more complex ones to get you the rounds?
I think this strat was like something I did. I think I actually made a short YouTube video on it, like, just because I wanted them to watch it before we practice, because it would take so long to explain it all.
Yeah,
And like, it was only a couple of minutes, and the point was to get us started on Mirage, because you're playing a best of 3, and if we're perma banning Nuke, you won't have to play Mirage whenever a team is picking, even if we suck at it. That was the purpose of the strat, basically to get us rolling, and like, to kind of make it easier for me just to not sit as an IGL and go, okay, let's default. Okay, let's default. Okay, let's take mid. It's like, okay, I have something to call now, which is actually a good strat.
yeah. And then we do have another clip here. So basically, what people are gonna notice, this is something that is called more out of spawn. It wasn't dry ran or anything really before. People obviously knew the smokes. To smoke back left and back right of mid on Vertigo. They go up and over and basically do another B split, which seems to be a little bit of a theme with you guys.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, so we'll just play it, as I said, we'll just play it through full, and then we can sort of talk about what led you to running this and the idea behind it afterwards.
A fast mid. Do you know the mid smokes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Chris, fake the presence on A again.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna run out mid, and we can smoke CT and head fast B.
Chain flashes out the window here. Another flash.
Picked.
Scope mid.
Flashing again. Okay, I can smoke elevator. Smoke CT someone.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
That's heaven dead.
Yeah, I'm always having
Get a molly.
Dead.
They might try to get that out.
We're sending it B right now.
one elevator.
Yeah.
Send it, Glenn. Send it.
Send it. Jump through.
Probably push stairs. What big white?
White box. White box half, dead.
Get bombed on,
Playing
Nico.
playing safe, playing safe.
Yeah,
I'm playing
and
Jen.
then in a 5v2, you pretty much have it. You just have a guy hard lurking A as well, so even if they try
Yeah.
to save, they're gonna have a little bit of difficulties.
Actually,
Uh,
I think we throw a sick pop flash there. I think Trail pop flashes me CT and kills the guy. Play off
trying
me
to
for
see-
this
might
CT
actually
retake.
see that then. Yeah.
Might have to
but-
wait a few seconds. Yeah.
No, but basically, like the focus on this is just sort of something you called out of spawn. So, was there an idea behind why it was sort of created on the spot?
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why. Like, this is the pop flash here. Actually, I'm calling it right now. I think this is sick. I love this. This is on the fly, full blind. Rip the op, and then I die because I'm trying to like shuffle the op away.
Yeah.
And then he kills me. I don't even remember what happens after that. Also whiff.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but like, the reason for this strat is because this is UL that we're playing, and we've been hammering them ramp. So when you hammer, like if they're playing retake A and Vertigo and we're taking ramp, which is what would have been happening, they're saying, okay, these retakes aren't working for us. Like we're 6-1 up. We're obviously winning all the post plans on A. So if we're doing that, they need to turn around and like this is what they did. I think is they turn around and go, right, let's fight ramp. Let's go 3 ramp, smoke down, molly tarp. Like let's just take it. And I think you said Larry. I think Lurk's ramp. I think he has a kill as well. I can't remember. Might be a different ramp I'm thinking of. But
Yeah.
the point is that we hadn't gone mid here, so they're not going to be mid heavy, and also we know they're going to be ramp heavy.
Yeah.
So as soon as we go out mid, it's like that opper misses the shot on me. I got a little bit lucky on that actually. And then he gets naded down because I hit him low, and then Nico nades him. He dies, and as soon as he dies, this is the whole point of the strat. We know that they are just nowhere near. Like they are nowhere near to help their B player. So their B player, talk about him in a second, but we obviously throw the CT and elevator smokes on the fly. I guess call that. And then I throw that molly, which goes like deep over heaven, so that the guy, if they do have a fast rotate, he can't get like towards B basically. And I'm pretty sure I say to aspect like just send it. It doesn't like, at that point util doesn't matter. Like all that matters is that you hit B, and trade the guy out. And that guy actually made the right play.
Yeah.
I think he had 2 plays he can make. Like at the big white box he played, or he could have pushed B down the stairs and gotten a 1v1 with Nico. Or actually, I think Pin and Larry was there. Like he did, I think that was the play for him. He just couldn't get the 1v1s. And that is the whole point of that strat because they have 3 guys A who just cannot help. We know their BA player is isolated, and then suddenly they're going right. Well, we took ramp, and they just ruined us mid. So do we go mid or do we go ramp again? And then like the round after this, I just say there's no reason for us to go mid again.
Yeah.
Like, ramp was working. Don't change it up. Just keep going ramp.
Yeah, so it almost looks like a bit of a theme that follows you guys is this idea of like conditioning your opponents, running 1 or 2 strats that just make them double or think next time, like if they see anything remotely similar, or as you said, creating this idea that they can't hold A, so they lean towards A, you hit elsewhere. It's like in wrestling, we always say, you know, you hit the body, the person covers the body, you hit the face, they'll cover the face, you hit the body, and you're just constantly making them think twice about where they're actually leaning towards. Do you think that's why people give you this idea of like you being a tactical, well-drilled team? Is just because you put thought into the plays you make as opposed to just making them for no reason?
Yeah, I think we definitely put more thought into plays. Like, I think that's something we get from Annual, which is like the UK league.
Yeah.
Like the top teams are all doing that. They're all playing the same kind of CS that we play, generally, and definitely we put more thought into like why we're going here.
Yeah.
And also, like, people really do like. I think the whole thing about strat gods was exaggerated a wee bit. Like, we do have good strats, don't get me wrong, but like, our main focus is we want good trading. Like, so we need good spacing, we need good pop flashes, and like, we just need confidence. Like, those are our main things. It's not really about like I know people were like Magic was talking about like having smoke sound and stuff. That was a big mistake from us when we did that. But like that was ages ago as well. So like that's been fixed. And definitely like I was saying to them, you know, like we're in a 3v3, we're in a 2v2, whatever situation at the end of a round, and like if we know there's only one guy B, or we know like there's an isolated player, you don't need guns there. I mean, sorry, you don't need util there. You need your gun. Like you have your gun out. If you take your util out, you can get timing and just die. Whereas playing it simple and it's just like a simple trading game
Yeah.
where you just play the numbers. I don't know if people contribute that to being strat heavy, but that is something we try and do usually.
Yeah, because I think some people can get caught up of, say for example, you throw like the 3 bomb train smokes on A. You can also, if they're playing 1-1 as CT and it's a 2v2, that guy can then just rotate in the back bomb and like help out
Yeah,
his teammates, sort of thing. So it almost like surprises them, and it means that if you do get that train that turns to a 1v1, your guy who's still alive has all the time in the world to sort of get
exactly.
set up and not really signpost it. Um, but no, I think it's maybe helped illuminate sort of the idea behind your team. Is there anything else that we didn't really cover that you would like to bring up as a point?
Go anything we didn't cover. We have a serious problem with eco rounds. Like we get egoed way too much. I think that's our biggest weakness.
Is that to how
Where
you set up or you approach it or what?
I think we just lose the 1v1s, especially in ice. Like if you're looking at like someone like Comeback King in ACI, he's gonna one dig you because he's cracked. And that can really turn around on its head, even if they're on an eco. Like I mean, we're obviously working on it. We don't lose that many ecos, but we do lose too many.
Yeah.
Whereas I would also say the flip side, like we're good at, say we're playing like where you're looking at your average ice team, they might play 5 deagles. We're pretty good at like, okay, well let's not just sit with 5 deagles and go for 1v1s. Let's just go for like, one smoke and a flash to get you a nice 1v1 that favors you actually,
Yeah.
even though you've got a shit gun. So you can turn this into a 5v4 or 4v4, and then you make the round uncomfortable. Like I think it is just a lot of fundamentals for us about a 1-for-1 is always a win for a T side. I think I heard someone say it's a win for a CT side. I don't think it is ever.
No,
I
it's
think
always a win for the T side. That person's
yeah.
an idiot who doesn't know Counter Strike.
um, it's like it's always a win for the T side, especially in ice, because like you're playing ice, and this is something we do a lot. I don't. We use the word chill. I will yell the word chill down the mic loads.
Yeah.
And all that matters is that we're on the same page here. Like say we get an opening kill on a 5v4 or 4v4 on our T side. Um, for example, on Dust 2, like I will either yell chill or go. Like I'll obviously call like, okay, we're going with B, okay, we're going ramp. And it's like you just go together or chill. And if it's chill, it's because you've killed a CT, and now they don't have info, and now you have their players who like I'm not even gonna say names because it's so common and nice. Like every team's doing it. It's a smart play. You're a CT, you're a man down. Someone makes a play to get info
Yeah.
back, to get the numbers back in your favor. And if you're just sitting and waiting there, it doesn't matter what elo they are or how good they are. If they walk into your crosshair, they are dead. And
Yeah.
this 5v4 turns into a 5v3, and that's when you turn around and say, okay, go A, go B. In fact, it doesn't even matter. Like if you're a 5v3, who cares if I make the wrong call? I'm obviously gonna try and make the right call.
Yeah.
But if we're all 5 committing on the same page with like, maybe one good flash, one good smoke, as long as everyone's going out and trading, like even if they have the 2 guys there, we're still gonna win the round. Just play the numbers. Don't overthink it. Is probably the biggest thing that we would make the mistake of doing.
Yeah, and
Um,
what just as a final point that I think is kind of important for a lot of teams, do you use in particular sort of leave, like, say for example, is there only 2 or 3 players on your team that have a thesaurus or an encyclopedic knowledge of like nades and stuff, just to sort of leave like the fragging to your 2 entry fraggers?
um,
Or would you say everyone knows
it's
a decent amount?
interesting because I am like an upper. I would like to be. I like being a really aggro upper and stuff, or just like even an aggro with the rifle, especially like on T side.
Yeah.
I want to make plays, but since I'm IGLing, I kind of have to suck it up and be like, okay, well, I know a lot of nades, and I'm gonna be throwing a lot of them,
Yeah.
and like I never get armor and pistol rounds. I never like I'm always having to make that, which sucks, but I do it because like everyone knows nades. Like they all know enough nades. I say Pinhead Larry probably knows like the least, but he still knows plenty. It's not a
Yeah.
problem. But like the reason that I don't care that he doesn't know as much is because I'll buy the nade because I trust you. I trust you to go out there and get the kill for me. Like, I'm
Yeah.
happy enough to suck it up, like even if my stats aren't as good. And my stats are good this season anyway. But like, uh, I'm happy enough to, if I know the flashbang, I'll set you up for it. I don't know if Aspect knows it, if Nico knows it. Like, just as long as we're playing together and we're not like baiting. As long as someone's like trying to bait, like, oh, I got a util,
Yeah.
I'll stay behind. You guys go. Give me that
Yeah.
AK.
No, exactly. But yeah, I think with that, I know one thing you want to say is like your team is cracked, but maybe is like hold yourselves back a little bit to actually do like the correct way of approaching a site, maybe. But like
Yeah.
I think maybe you sort of said you feel that your individual prowess maybe doesn't get pointed out, or you know people don't understand how cracked some of your players are. Like
I think it's definitely overlooked because like the whole scene only talks about Strat
yeah,
God team. Yeah, like, it's a meme at this point, right? But like, I guess my theory would be you don't need like you can be cracked, right?
yeah,
And you can be hitting all your shots. Uh, but say we send Pinhead Larry and Troll out, or say we send Nico out. Do they need to be cracked if we're throwing a pretty simple pop flash and the guy that they're swinging is just full blind, or do they need to be cracked if you know if Nico's job is look Nico, you're going to swing here, and you're going to die, but Pinhead Larry's going to trade you, and as we said before, the 1-for-1's a win for us. Um, so I guess we kind of hide it with that. I would
yeah,
say, in the sense that we don't put the pressure on ourselves to show up and hit those like ridiculous shots that we can hit. We definitely when we do hit them, um, we use just more sound CS, I would say, and I would also say like I think we're a victim of the noodle arms in like officials, particularly when our match is hyped up. Like sometimes it just takes a while for us to get going, particularly in the first map. Like
yeah,
I think we played NCI and like my arm was just like a noodle the whole time, and like I was missing all the shots that are really easy.
yeah,
Like he's walking into my crosshair with the op and I'm missing it. But then he's like running out long and he's like way over to my right and I'm hitting the flick. I was like, oh yes, and then he walks into my crosshair and I miss. I think it's just nerves because we
yeah.
haven't played that much in a final. In fact, we haven't played a final before.
Yeah, no, and I think it'll be interesting. Like, but hopefully, you can do us Northerners relatively proud. You know.
I hope we just play a good game. If we don't show up, they're gonna stomp us. Like, but if we show up, it'll be a very close game, I think.
Yeah, it's toad. I suppose that's just how it always is with them, isn't it?
Mm.
But yes, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much for doing this piece of content with me.
Yeah.
I'm sure actually it's probably one of the few pieces of content of its kind. So you're on
I
at
feel
the
special.
ground floor.
Yeah, thank you for having me as well.
No problem. Yeah, make sure that everyone subs because I always get more views than I get subscribers. So I know yous are just being stingy as fuck. So yeah, like, and if you honestly, if you hate me, give me a downvote and tell me you hate me because it still counts towards the algorithm. Thank you very much, and I hope this button actually ends.